Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, what if the most important lessons you could learn in English class weren't actually about grammar, but about empathy? Today, we're going to look at a really powerful teaching method that turns real-life conflicts into these huge learning moments. And get this, it's all being supercharged by AI. All right, let's dive in.
So, just imagine you're on your daily commute and you see this go down. It's a moment of really intense public conflict. It is messy, it's emotional, and it's a real story that an educator named Tony uses as a powerful starting point for a much deeper conversation.
And this really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? When you're faced with that kind of raw emotion, how do you respond? And maybe more importantly, how can we teach students to navigate these moments with thought and care instead of just, reacting on pure instinct?
So this incident on the train becomes our case study. It's this raw, real-life dilemma that needs more than just book smarts to figure out. It really demands emotional intelligence.
Okay, so how do you get from that chaos to some kind of clarity? Well, it turns out there's a framework for that. It's called Social and Emotional Learning, or SEL for short.
Now, SEL isn't just about, controlling your feelings or just being nice. It's about weaving together your feelings, your values, and your ability to take action into everything you do. The whole goal is to help students grow into empathetic, responsible people.
The entire SEL framework is built on these 5 core skills. Think of them as a toolkit for navigating our pretty complex social world. So let's see how this toolkit actually helps us break down what happened on that train.
This is where the theory gets real. It's so cool. Look at how this framework takes a totally messy emotional event and just organizes it into a clear roadmap for thinking it through. Under self-awareness, the person admits they feel conflicted instead of just pointing fingers. Under responsible decision-making, they're actually weighing the real-world consequences of fighting back. It's such a powerful way to turn a moment of conflict into a moment of clarity.
So, here's the crucial question. How do you take this kind of powerful personal reflection and make it a teachable moment in, of all places, an English class? And this slide just illustrates the how so brilliantly. The English class basically becomes a laboratory for life skills. So instead of just learning vocabulary, students are practicing how to use emotion words in context. Instead of just reading a story, they're role-playing calming phrases or they're analyzing different points of view. It's all about using the tools of language to build emotional intelligence. Now, this is a seriously powerful framework, but, let's be real. For a busy teacher, creating custom lessons from scratch for every new current event, that sounds like a totally impossible amount of work.
And that's the big challenge, right? How do you scale this deeply human approach without completely burning out the very teachers we're relying on to teach it?
And this is where the story takes a really fascinating turn. The answer is AI. It acts like this incredible assistant, a kind of amplifier that can take these raw, messy human stories and almost instantly transform them into structured, ready-to-use lessons.
So let's look at another one of Tony's real-life examples. This one is about his encounter with a lost young woman who'd been missing for 3 days, walking around barefoot and totally confused. Just a deeply human story.
So the teacher takes this story and feeds it to an AI with a very specific prompt. Now notice, they're not just saying rewrite this. They're asking for it to be at a B1 English level. That's intermediate. But they're also asking for specific teaching elements, like emotion words, lines that show empathy, and reflection questions. This isn't just content creation, this is AI-assisted lesson design.
And just look at what the AI generates in minutes. It's an entire lesson package. I'm talking a reading text at the right level, an original song, even a screenplay for the students to act out. All that prep work is just done. And that frees up the teacher to focus on the most important part, actually guiding the human conversation in the classroom.
So, when you combine these human stories, this emotional learning, and artificial intelligence, what does that all mean for the future of education? Let's zoom out for the big picture.
This quote really says it all. The technology isn't the goal here. It's just the tool that helps us get back to the true purpose of education, helping students understand and share their own stories, and inspiring them to act with real compassion. And that leaves us with a really provocative thought. When AI can handle all the repetitive grunt work of making materials, the teacher's role actually becomes more important than ever. Their true purpose is elevated. It's to lead those rich dialogues, to create a safe space for tough conversations, and to connect what's learned in the classroom to the life that's waiting right outside the door. The tech does the prep, the teacher brings the heart.